What's going on, everybody? This is Sean Scott with Reflections TV, and today we have the second episode of Kitchen Talk with the new guests and new topics. What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
But everyone who doesn't know what Kitchen Talk is primarily an informal, laid-back, intimate discussion amongst us peers here where we come together and we talk about topics such as current events, religion, sex, relationships, anything that you could think of, we come together and we talk about it. So I'm done talking. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's get into it. So the first topic that we have today is social networks and relationships. So I would like everyone's opinion on how they feel about social networks and relationships. Are they good? Are they bad? Are you tired of seeing people in relationships on Twitter, Instagram all day? How does everybody feel?
So your relationship is your relationship. If you let social media run your relationship, social media run your relationship. If you let your mom, sisters, cousin, baby mama, and nephew run your relationship, your mom, sisters, baby, cousin, nephew is gonna run your relationship. But just because I have an Instagram doesn't mean I have to tell you I have a girlfriend. Just because you have a car don't mean you have gas in it, you know? It's like it's all about your perspective, man. As your relationship, you gotta be able to take care of home first before you tweet my boyfriend this or I'm Facebooking our relationship. That don't got nothing to do with me and you. We human. As your relationship. That's what you gotta take care of. Social media is social media.
Marcus?
I just wish I had a girl that I was proud enough of to put her on social media. and like that's not any shade, but like I mean, like I'm not really like a hoe or nothing, but like I wish there was somebody who I was proud enough of to show off and broadcast in the same light that I broadcast myself.
Alright.
I have a question. Faith.
Oh, yeah.
So you messing with these females that you're not proud enough of, but you're messing with them?
Just about.
But they can't go on Instagram. They're not Instagram.
No. It's not the fact that I'm not proud enough of them. It's the fact that we're not at a point where it's to the point where I would show them off because we're not exclusive.
Okay, that sounds better than proud enough. It's proud enough.
I mean,
like, you might want to get that together.
What I'm saying is, I wish there was somebody I was proud enough of to just like, this is you, this is me, we're together, and I would like to broadcast you in this type of light.
So with that being said, if you would have,
I don't have a girlfriend.
I understand that part. But with that being said, if you did have a girlfriend,
if I did have a girlfriend, she would be special enough for me to broadcast in that type of light.
And would that affect your social
life?
life?
Personally, I don't care what anybody else outside of me thinks. But if I think she looks good and I think she's the one, I feel like that she's up to my standards, then yes, I would love to broadcast her. But
I understand.
And I don't have that person.
But then you got them dudes who think every girl they mess with, every girl they encounter with is worth that, and it's a new girl on there every week. That's what I get tired of seeing. As far as a dude putting a new girl up on his Instagram every single week, or a new chick that you want to broadcast, and these females is happy because they can say they've been with that dude. Let me watch that. They've been with that dude, and they made it to his Instagram, and he just a loco. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I get tired of.
He's a local.
He's a local.
Define, please.
So that's what I
Define local, please.
So he has to be a celebrity.
He don't gotta be a celebrity. That's not what I'm saying. He don't have to be a celebrity, but I'm saying like he's nobody for these girls to be going crazy over and be wanting to be on his Instagram and commenting under pictures and just doing the dramatics and wanting to fight and all this other stuff.
So
it's been so many circumstances where I just get tired of it. It's not even local versus celebrity status. It's not that. Because you got them groupie chicks who want to be all up on celebrity Instagram. It's the same scenario, just two different levels. But I just get tired of it. Like, take pride in it and take pride in social media. It's just getting out of control.
And you are correct when it says it's getting out of control. Okay, so but you talked about locals and celebrities. So what about when we talk about Toledo and Cleveland guys or Cleveland women and Cincinnati or Columbus to be specific?
I mean, I can only speak on what I see. I don't follow a lot of people from Cleveland, as far as a lot of dudes from Cleveland. And the ones I do follow, you know what I'm saying, they got chicks or baby mamas that they take pride in. And the ones that I do follow, you know what I'm saying, they show some type of moral. I think it definitely varies between cities. Because Toledo niggas versus Cleveland or Columbus niggas, I definitely see a difference in all three of them niggas. dudes. Sorry, Jesus. I definitely see a difference in all three, and I can name characteristics from all three towns. And Cincinnati, including Cincinnati, I see difference in all them dudes. I'm not saying that again. From all them different cities.
With that being said, it's like the character of your mate at that time, you don't really know, man. You don't know enough to broadcast that person. You don't know until you actually get to know them, and people don't let you know them until it's already too late. You wanna start to learn this person, and then the social network has already took over. You know what I'm saying? It's already took over for you before you actually get to know them. Then you're starting to learn them from social networks, which is a loss.
Once that picture get 100 likes, oh, it's on the popping. Y'all together forever. Like, ain't nobody,
she got 1,000 followers. I'm not.
When did social media start depicting on relationships?
That's what I want to touch.
That's what I'm confused on. Like, when did social media?
I just think it's society as a whole, because you see people posting stuff on Instagram, and when you see that, people want that. Like, okay, he posted his girlfriend, she posted her boyfriend, and everybody's like, okay, I want to post that now. I want to post the person that I'm talking to. I want to post the person that I'm in love with, or something like that. So I think it's just society shapes that picture into making people want to have that, want to do that, and want to look forward to social media.
There's two things I want to address, and I want to give my perspective first. Last time I had, like he was saying, a girlfriend that was like, okay, this is us, and people knew us like that. The social media site that was popping, and it was just popping like towards the end of our relationship, we got into it, was MySpace. So right. So everything I've been dealing with, everything I've been, you're top 5. So what's your number one now? Everything I done dealt with ever since, it wasn't real relationships. It's just situationships. And so you gotta, duck and dodge. I don't want her to see this about me, or I'm gonna watch how I post about this. And that's relationships too, even though we ain't talking about, oh, my girlfriend or boyfriend. Because everybody got, you got the relationships with people, might be baby mama and whatever, and they cussing each other out all day on Facebook, oh, I love them, going back and forth, and everybody watching their soap opera going on. But when we talk about relationships, you gotta talk about, okay, I see her on my Facebook feed. I want to get at that, blah, blah, blah. So that's the relationship building right there, because you're watching her develop, and then you get the number. You might meet her in the club, you get the number, blah, blah, blah. So you move from there. That's all social media and relationships developing. And people might end up, people have ended up married through all that, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Now, 10 years later from what I'm talking about. So, long story short, I think if I was in a situation like Marcus said, where I done found the one I'm gonna approach it now, in this day and time, you gotta be real careful with it's a chess game now, man. Because you don't want anything to, you don't want to put yourself out there in the wrong light in front of her because you had a bad day. And so you gotta watch that. You gotta be careful about the likes and because there's lessons I've learned, but the girls I don't, like you said, I don't care about. But I was like, okay, that hurt you. I gotta remember that for when that one come along. That Facebook is out here effing up my game like that because you can see when I like so and so's picture, and this might be somebody who's a dancer in Atlanta. But just because I saw on Instagram, I did the Facebook game, whatever. Okay, I see her face on Facebook.
But you looking nice with that statement though.
Yeah.
I don't think it should matter who you like.
No, I don't.
On Instagram when it comes to your relationship.
No, that's true too.
Because she should still be able to respect you, because us men, we still look at other females. We can look.
Right.
We do nothing else.
So
as females, females look at other men, but they don't.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say,
because other men look and then they go after them.
Yo. I just want to
speak for yourself, y'all. Some.
So
speak for yourself when you say you look and you don't say nothing. Don't speak for all
y'all
men.
is a general statement because.
What I want to say
is, yourself on that statement, because you can't say you look. You can say you look and don't do nothing else, but I can guarantee you, it's other men who look and do other things.
For every one that look and don't do nothing, there's probably about three who's gonna go after.
And when I look, I think of other things. You know what I'm saying?
So there's
like
always
I look
cause
and I think of other
you
things.
Think, and then you do. Like you can say
no,
you look.
That's
I'm
not.
not saying you. I'm not saying you.
No, but what I'm saying is you can't make that generalization. If you even exclude me from that generalization,
we never dated you.
Like
we're sorry.
Like
I apologize. Whenever him, you keep.
Hey, ever broke Amara's heart? Please. Please ever broke her heart? Please.
What I'm saying is Instagram in itself provides you an opportunity to continue looking, even if you have found someone that is quote unquote.
You can look at life. It's all about reading.
But what I'm saying is, Instagram makes the world smaller. You can find better.
But women can make the world smaller too.
So quickly than you ever could have before. But what I'm saying is,
and none of these
that is the temptation in itself.
All right, so look, I'm gonna give a perspective from a guy in a relationship. I ain't heard that yet.
That's what we need.
One, I'm more of an old school cat. I don't like blowing my relationship on social media. So when there's a demand for it, I get salty. I mean, because at the end of the day, women want attention.
True.
And I'm saying everybody has a certain demand for attention. But me personally, I think, why should I show off or promote the one that I love or whatever case I'm in?
Cause she cold.
For what? I don't share. Like it is mine. It's mine. Like I don't have to let the world know it's mine.
Next topic that we have, controversial topic of, do all men and women cheat? And then from there, what do we classify as cheating? Is it is it the physical act, or is it the emotional act before the physical act? Where is the quote unquote cheating happening? Go.
Okay.
I just want to say I don't know what cheating is, but all I know it is breaking some commitment that you had with your significant other, and lusting is a part of that. So I don't know where you draw the line.
I feel like cheating is if you can't tell me and I can't tell you, then that's cheating. If you texting somebody and I can't see it and I don't know what y'all talking about, that's cheating. If you hanging out with somebody, if you go out to dinner with somebody and you feel like if you feel with yourself that you can't tell me, I feel like that's cheating because
smoke.
That's a good way to put it.
Smoke.
I am a reformed cheater. I've cheated multiple times. I've been cheated on. So from my standard, yes, men and women cheat. Not all men and women cheat though. There are people who I know, my brothers personally, who are 100% faithful and always will be that. There are females that I know who are always faithful. But there are people like I who cheat. Maybe they stop sooner or later, but they do it.
But what do you classify as cheating?
I classify cheating. Women cheat emotionally before they cheat physically. Men,
no.
Let him explain.
A man will go have a one-night stand, which is a physical cheat, before a woman would, correct?
I don't agree with that.
But women can sit here and have a full-length relationship with the man, talk to him, see him, no sexual contact, no kissing, anything. But he as a man has a spot in her world aside from her man. Now men, we can go and have sex with 4 different girls and be with our girlfriend the whole weekend.
Girls.
Yes, but girls have also, but usually men cheat physically first because we're men.
Listen.
That's
your opinion, though.
Listen.
That's why I say I'm saying I. I'm not saying you guys.
A woman will go and have sex with a man and not count it. Period. Just say like, you know what? You know what? That one just was nothing. Like, what you mean? Like, how do you say it was nothing? You were over there.
Let's just not say just females, because men have done it as well.
I know they have done it as well, but a woman will look at it way differently than the man does. That's why I see it as like, it's not always like that, man. It's not always where, okay, she's just, she's just in it so emotional. She just like this guy. She just see a dude and be like, oh my God, he light skinned.
All they say is always at first.
For sure.
First, women cheat.
I think only for some girls though.
Yeah, but some girls who just cheat physically are popping that thing for everybody, so they should never even be in a relationship. You feel me? So it's like they're already gonna be popping that thing regardless.
But so what? The guy doesn't know.
Exactly, but that's different. Most women are not gonna have sex with a man just how men are.
Women are like how emotional women are.
You're fine. If you bump into me in the club and we go home together, I'm gonna try to do it to you. But if we go home together, you're not going to be on that. You see what I'm saying?
But at the same time, that's just me. But I think people misconceive how emotional women are. Like, I don't think every woman is that emotional. Like,
true.
I can go sleep with somebody and be like, forget that. Like you said, say he didn't count. But there are some girls that are really emotional, and I guess that's what they do. They get that emotional connection.
I think the question is the fact that we don't realize that how many guys are actually emotional.
This
you feel me? Too. We don't ever talk about how many guys are actually emotional. It's a guy right now, while we talking, that's crying over a chick.
Fetal position.
He's so sick. That's why I said him talking about sick, like hurting about her. And we don't know about that. He's not tweeting, oh my gosh, she just hurt me. He's
Right
not saying
there.
none of that. So he just chilling back, and we never think
And I
about it. We
respect
think
him
about
for
all these
that. That is
emotional
right
women.
there.
We only think that these guys are so physical, but really it's kind of half.
What about the guys who are emotional but use the physical to take control or take control of the emotional? But no, that's not cool though. Like that's not cool.
Okay, then it's not cool. What I'm saying is, like, growing up, when I grew up, it wasn't cool to be emotional. Like, it's not cool to be emotional. But as I've grown older, I will attribute this. I am a very emotional person, and I am glad that I'm an emotional person because I know that I'm not dead inside. I know that I can experience the highs and lows of life, and I know that I can be okay at the end of the day. And I'm okay with the emotions that I have because they make me feel alive.
But not everybody.
But not everybody is at that level of accepting their emotions because people don't even understand that anger is an emotion. You being pissed off and you go fighting somebody, that's an emotion. That's you being not being able to be in control of your emotions. That is emotional. It's even worse than crying.
And all in all, cheating comes from those said unfound emotions. That's what I believe. I believe that cheating comes from those unsaid. Like you find this person that you're like, I can't express myself to my relationship, but I can express myself to you a little bit, so I'm gonna keep going, whether you have sex or not. You feel me?
I agree with that.
It starts to become a battle of emotions rather than a battle of physical activity or a battle of, like if you're in a relationship and you go out here and you cheat on a girl and you know what I'm saying, you do whatever you do, it is not because of just physical attraction, because you know you have that same physical attraction at home. Don't mind you, sometimes it is, but majority of the time it is off of something that's emotionally missing through people. That's all.
And then they find it in somebody else. I feel like cheating is emotional and physical. I definitely feel where you come from, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Some people they feel like cheating is the only way to get the spouse's attention or that other person's attention, to get them to be like, listen to me. Like,
or they're selfish.
There's two things. If it's just physical, it's probably a person who's got an ego trip thing going, and you defeat the ego, is completely selfish and shallow. But if it's emotional, and then you got problems in your relationship, and that's where it gets deeper.
Or if they cheat, it's because of past experiences.
Right, I think
not trusting
this one.
The present. Yeah. They're not going to give the present an opportunity
different from the
to change and do something different. They're bringing in their baggage from the past.
But that's because they haven't healed from their last relationship before getting into a new relationship.
Definitely.
I think
that is
That's big, and that's very important. You need to learn to forgive.
To heal and move on.
You don't have to forget, but you have to forgive.
But what about them people?
You have to move on. Let your baggage go.
But then you got the people who can't move on or can't be by themselves. So they gonna constantly do this repetitively over and over again to the same person and just keep cheating.
They are the person that will lose. They are the person that need help. They're the person that won't move on to the next step.
But people can't even admit that they need help because they're embarrassed about what other people are gonna think about them needing help.
One thing we talk about.
It's the mental process. It's the mental process. People are afraid of admitting that they need help because mental health is not taken seriously. It's not promoted well enough in this country. I mean, I'm sure there are other countries where it's promoted much better, but admitting that you need mental help, seeing a psychiatrist, seeing a psychologist, there's a reason that there's a confidentiality clause in that contract. It's because people are afraid to admit that they need help mentally to help figure things out, because not everything makes sense. And people are afraid to admit that. Not everything makes sense, that they don't have all the answers. Especially once they reach a certain age where they feel like can't nobody tell them shit.
And also that comes from a parental background. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We know what we've seen through our life. You feel me? So if we've seen our dad, I've been in the whip with my pops and he pull up on a new chick, you feel me? And I'm like, felt you, whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew, you know what I mean? Like, and he just like, oh, that was just my friend. You feel me? Like, and there's nothing I can do about it. So as I grow up, naturally in my mind, I feel like I can do the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not even, I'm thinking about it when it's happening, but it's definitely, you know what I mean, some hereditary aspects that's come up just as I've grown up, just in the whip, just doing whatever. We're out here, we're driving, he's doing whatever he wants.
Next topic we're going to discuss is with these recent acts of injustice against all our young people and whatnot, when it comes to like police brutality and all these acts of injustice against us, do we bring it amongst ourselves as far as, you know, the stereotypes that we get about ourselves?
I can't take the hand.
I'm gonna start this one off.
We should go in a circle. How about that?
Police relations in Black America would never be on the same page. To me, and never.
I don't think police and society, period, would never be on the same page.
I'm talking.
It ain't even black people. I just think police and civilians.
When I say Black America, though, I'm not talking about just black people. I'm talking about the influence of black culture in general. I don't feel like it'll be a common medium ever.
That's because they have a job.
But why?
People get offended by them doing their job.
I'm about to get into it. This is where I feel why. There's not a, when it comes to, at least on the other side, because I have family that's in law enforcement, they don't have the understanding of black culture. And and at the end of the day, I mean, we're not that far away from the 60s. So there are still people that are with third generation prejudice that just happen to be in law enforcement.
That's not ignorance.
I didn't
I
say
think
it was
they should make knowledge of it. I think people that
Marcus,
are going to be in that type of thing should make knowledge of what's going on in modern society. That's just my opinion.
We're not in a society where we educate each other though, for real.
I just want to say the whole principle of race is a fallacy. It's a way to categorize people based on the way that they look. And it's wrong. It's wrong. It's false. It's a false statement. It's a false fact. What happened to what country did you come from? What flag do you represent? How can you distinguish someone from North Africa from South Africa? How can you distinguish someone and call them African American? All I'm saying is the issue of race is a fallacy that continues to poison the minds of our society and continues to separate us because we don't even know what country we came from. In this country, it's a putting me against you type of deal. It's a way to categorize people. It's a way to oversimplify things, which causes problems. Because we don't even understand where we come from, so we try to identify with people who look like us versus people who think like us.
When you out in the street, an officer so-and-so sees you, drops his donut, clack, clack, bow, damn. All that don't matter.
No, but the thing is,
because you had a hole in the ground.
People don't know the laws, man. It breaks down to people don't know their real rights, man. A cop is yelling at you, and all you're thinking in your mind is, he's a cop, he could take me down. Yeah. If you knew your rights right then and you started reciting them, he could literally do nothing to you, man. Like nothing at all. Half the time, cops don't even say your rights to you, whether it's black man, white man, or not.
Because
when a cop is speaking, they are not
saying,
bro. They're not saying. They don't even think in your mind that you know what they know because they didn't know it until they went to the academy.
And they know that you don't know, and they use that against you.
It's not that they know that you don't know because
they figure you don't know.
But
you're right.
They don't know, which means that the people are ignorant, but the cops use their ignorance with their own ignorance against it.
Ignorance.
Okay, I have two things. How many of you sitting up here know who Darren Wilson is?
That's the cop.
The cop that did what?
Shot Mike Brown. Oh, supposedly shot
Okay,
Mike.
But how many of you knew that before this?
I mean, I heard.
Like, knew him before this situation?
Knew that name.
Knew before the situation.
That knew who Darren Wilson was. Exactly. But we all can see here as black youth and say we know about Ferguson. But we don't know even the officer what to deal with, but we can say Mike Brown, you know? And that's why we need to think as a community, as black people, before we say we don't get along with the law, why don't we control ourselves? Like, we all know somebody in this room right now that gangbangs or carries a pistol who doesn't have a permit. But we don't go tell that man, hey, you should get a permit. He's over the age. He can go get a permit with ease. Spend a little money to get a permit, but he got the perception. No, but wait, listen. Before I even say anything about felonies, we all know people with felonies who have pistols, and we don't tell them not to carry the pistol. You feel me? Right. We need to control our black people. We see our black people get killed, get run down, tear up our own. Ferguson.
But how do you obey a law that's an unjust law? Any unjust law is not a law at all.
But if you go around complaining about everything's so unjust and not correcting the people who's gonna lash out, you're no good to the problem. You're not a solution.
Maybe
everyone
you
in
care
this
about
room,
the people who aren't gonna do it the right way.
But the people who are, like you
maybe you
about
maybe you don't
but
care
know
about the people who are gonna sacrifice themselves for nothing.
That's what I'm saying. We need to help each other. Just all the information.
Some people ain't gonna learn.
Are you trying to learn? Teach them.
You can't teach them.
Nobody taught you how to walk, you know?
That being said, think
all
about
babies
this.
don't walk and talk.
Okay, yeah. All these black people have got shot in recently and da-da-da-da-da. But it's a lot of country white people and trailer park white people that get killed and choked out the same way.
They're now in the news.
We're
not talking about that.
Because they don't go when one of us gets shot. They don't.
Is a 4-year degree, as far as education goes, is it really necessary to be successful in today's society?
Yes.
Why?
It is necessary because, sadly, in a lot of great opportunities, you need that piece of paper. No matter if you hate the system or you hate how it rolls, that's necessary.
So what? So
I said a lot of.
So a question after.
Say some people require. Don't say you need it, because you don't need it.
Yeah, I don't think
some people rather.
I'm saying, do you? I'm saying, do you need it? Do you need that 4-year degree to be successful?
Some people
no.
say you
That
rather
is not
experience than that piece of paper. So you can say you need it. You can say some places require it, but don't say you need it, because some people rather have your
Required
experience.
and needed the same thing.
Well, okay, first of all.
Like, you need something.
I think it's more
support.
like need. I think it's more need than required.
What she's saying is
the things that happen in those 4 years, academically, mentally, spiritually, physically, the whole spectrum cannot be defined.
But you can do it.
The piece of paper. Now people try to define it by the piece of paper, yeah. But in order to climb a certain level of success, everybody's level of success is different.
Everybody.
You might look at success as something else. I look at success as something way different. What I need to be successful, I need to have a doctorate degree. Straight up.
It depends on your medium.
But everybody's success is different. My success, I need certain things. Your success, you might not need certain things.
Well, I feel like need and requirement is two different things.
But when I view it successful, yes, you need a 4-year degree.
I think it's helpful. I don't think you.
It's helpful, but I feel like it's not needed.
Yeah.
There are plenty of high school graduates without no degree that are easily at 60K.
There are millionaires.
There's no way.
There's millionaires with no high school.
There are millionaires without no high school. They didn't finish 8th grade because they.
But what did they do on their off time? They educated themselves. That's all.
On their own. You were
But you don't need.
correct.
But that's that 4-year degree.
Piece of paper. Yeah,
Do they have that piece of? Is that piece of paper?
But how many people?
With your own experience.
How many people walk this green planet that are Steve Jobs? Please tell me.
You tell me.
What people in our society take the initiative to go educate themselves?
That's what it is. People don't take the initiative.
Please,
but it can be done. It can
But
be
it
done.
can't be
People
done.
don't
So
take
the
that
4-year
initiative.
degree?
So you need
It
the
can be done,
initiative.
degree is
What you
it's
need
safe
is
to have it.
what you
So-
need
so-
is the initiative.
So, but the problem with the 4-year
You
degree.
have to have it on your own.
Because your parents can teach you.
This
the
is
people
the
that don't have
problem with the
initiative
4-year
need that.
degree. The 4-year degree, if you be honest with yourself, 25 to 30% of your time in that 4-year degree, you're taking classes that you're going to, with that information, you ain't going to never see again. You're never going to use ever again. What's the reason why you got to take half your time, half of your energy, the majority of your money, your parents' money that you ain't really got, that you gotta pay off in the rest of your years? Why are you doing that?
It's an investment. The other 75, though, it's weighted. The 25 is weighted lower than me. The other 75,
right? I'm basing off 25, maybe a year, like a year of your,
It's an investment as far as what you want to reach. At the end of the day, the time you make out of your 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever, how long you in college, is all on you. Some people, I know people that came here or other schools, got a degree, got a master's, and they went to Walmart. So for those type of people, this is a good argument, but colleges is not about going to class and taking pointless courses.
Listen to me, man.
It's about everything that you do amongst yourself.
But you can have that experience doing something else other than getting a degree.
In fact, look. When you go to college, if you go to college and you're not a medical doctor or some sort of scientist, college is all about networking.
You feel me? If you go to college and you never met nobody, but you get this diploma, you don't even know where to look to get a job, bro. So if you're not trying to be a medical scientist or a medical doctor, bro, it's really like you can go out here and do it by yourself. I can meet a CEO of a company and he is gonna train me every single time. The only time where you're really not being trained is a medical doctor or a scientist. Any other situation, when you go in, they're training you off top. The first 3 weeks, the first month is all training.
But when it's time to take that position and they ask you for the required paperwork, AKA your credentials.
That paperwork is because you didn't know them before. It's because you didn't have
credentials.
I agree.
I mean, networking gets you.
That's why I told
Network.
it's not
No. Networking.
If they
No.
know you and believe in your work,
Yes.
they don't need the paperwork.
That don't go hold.
That
That's a lie.
is
That is a
true.
lie.
But it
That's
happens in
that's
our
right.
society. In our society, if you have those people that you the network, you know, for example, my uncle, I'm just giving this is a random thing. Say your uncle, your cousin is a big millionaire, big trillionaire. You did not finish high school. You were in trouble. You have jail. You've been in jail before. All that, this and that. You don't have a degree. He can get you in that job.
It ain't gotta be
But
family.
look,
it can be family's
but look,
family,
when-
friends of family.
Exactly.
Hold on.
You don't have to have that. People will teach you how to read. You don't know how to read. He will sit you down. He already got them. He has his time.
You got the formula.
All right. So look.
He's going to invest his money into you, not nobody else.
College is
into
for
you.
doctors.
Perfect example. Perfect example. Remember the cat that was on the highway? This was in Ohio, down to Columbus, and he had the perfect voice for radio and was doing that shit on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, the homeless guy.
Blah. And because Nabisco or whoever believed in his voice, like, oh yeah, you can do this easy. Stop drinking. We got you $50K a year. Because the grind was out there. He's out there.
Isn't there an actor right now that we watch all the time that was homeless?
Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Here we go.
But look,
That's fool.
Hey.
Don't say that.
No,
we don't.
I mean, you gotta respect Tyler Perry's
It's
story though.
This is an example.
You gotta
how
respect.
many Tyler Perry's y'all know?
It's about that's why it's called the road less traveled. It's initiative, bro.
I think it's needed. The question was it necessary?
It's not
The question,
necessary.
yes, the question
He never had no
is,
degree. He didn't have a 4-year
Let's go back to the
degree.
question.
the question is, do you feel a
You gotta want it.
4-year degree
Is a
is
4-year
necessary?
degree necessary
I
to
think
be
initiation-
successful?
I feel
It
like
depends
depending on the
on
person,
depends.
who you are and what you want to achieve, it may or may not be
It helps.
necessary.
Beneficial.
But if you do go to college, it looks better when you apply for bigger jobs because they see the accreditations you have. But there are people, Sean Carter, Jay-Z, who doesn't have a high school diploma and is probably one of the smartest businessmen we're ever going to see. But his 4 years weren't spent at a university. They probably weren't spent at a school at all. You know, he dropped out at what, 8th grade and started selling? And then he grew and learned. You need to learn in 4 years and learn something to do with your life. Don't learn because I'm giving you a book. Learn because you want to be successful.
I feel like
Learn
everybody
because
can get a
you
degree.
want that. Yes, everybody.
Everybody can
I know
get a
people
degree.
who I promise, a white-handed
Anybody
man
can get a
upstairs who can't tie their shoes in a good day, but they have a college degree. I have a college degree.
Everybody can get a degree.
I have a college degree. I network. I have many internships. I don't have a job in my field. Granted, I've only been out of school for 18 months, but I've tried. I've interned. I've networked. I'm one of the most social people I'm ever gonna meet. If you know me, like I'm one of the most social people ever. So it's about networking and it's about what you want. I know people who got better degrees than me, but they sit at home all day. And I know they can get a job somewhere because I could have got some jobs that's lower than what I could have got for what I had. You know, it's about your will and you're willing to learn something to promote you. Not promote like, hey, talk about me, look at me, listen to me. Promote you.
Skills.
Meaning, if I'm 22 and I make $17,000 this year, when I turn 28, I don't want to make $17,000. I'd rather make $117,000 a year. You see, I'm promoting me, but I'm learning. I'm gonna spend that time and learn. What I learned in college, I can't tell you nothing. I know a couple of stuff with a camera or how to get to it, how to build a resume, how to do my taxes. But I didn't learn a lot in college. I can't recite word for word what I did.
And that was one of the reasons why I made that statement. You know, with that being said, I don't think that we need a 4-year degree because half that time is wasted on things that you're never going to ever
college
see
made
again.
them 4 years made
They are
don't actually agree with that. You're never going to see again. I believe that
I believe it all
apply
pops
those
up.
things that you
If you
learned, you
apply it,
can make them
That's a
relevant.
statement, though,
Right.
Marcus.
You can't make
if
it.
you
You have
apply
to
it,
apply it. You can't. You can
Most-
know. You can know how
That's
to
on
turn
you.
on to
That's
cook
not on
eggs.
me.
But if you don't get
You are-
a cook
but you're
eggs.
correct
That's
again.
not on that for you
Listen,
degree.
all,
That's
all
on
of,
you.
all of those classes that they make you take that you're not going to technically use in real life or use in your career is just to expand your brain more. It's just
I've
it's like
used
working out.
it. Yes,
That's
it makes
all
your
it is.
brain-
I am a
That's all it
film
is
student, and I have
technically.
personally used algebra. Well, actually, it was geometry to help me set up lighting.
I have too. I've used math and science in other ways, like but
To determine
I took a
angles,
drama
to
class
determine
and I
shots, to
can't.
determine
It opens your
framing.
mind up during that point in time. It
Yeah,
opens
it's
your
just
mind.
like-
I know
Keep your brain
metering because of geometry.
yeah, you see, but you have to control your brain. You have to make your brain work. Your brain is a muscle. If you sit around for 6 years and don't do anything after
Then
high
that's
school,
on them.
yes, that's on you. You get up, like get working. I hate when people make it seem like, oh, the life is so unfair. Cause like, no, if you would have got up and did something at 18, you would be 32 going to get at 109, from the store. You
Okay,
feel
but
me?
let's talk about people that don't go to college at all but have nice jobs.
They-
and are
but
cool.
I didn't say you had to go to college.
they
I
have-
said
But I'm
get up
saying,
and
but I'm
apply.
saying, but I'm just saying, let's talk about it because that's not what we're discussing.
All right.
College is
I'm
for
saying
everyone.
that person-
that's a factor that we also need to factor in. There's
Yeah.
people that are actually successful, and granted, only 16% of Americans even make $100,000. You feel me? So on top of that, like we have to think about like these people are not going to college. They just met somebody. They're like, oh, okay, well I can get in the police academy. Boom, I'm gonna make this quick 30. You know what I'm saying? Or I can get in. I can get a trade real quick, or I can do this and I can do that real quick, just because I know somebody and they know that those people are going to train them. In college, they're not telling you about the training. They're not preparing you for the training. They're just preparing you for you to expect.
And that's no. But you're geared up in college to do everything. You have
You don't need the 4-year degree. I feel like
yes,
you don't. I
but
feel
it's
like
if
it's
you
your
go to a
grind.
police
I feel like
academy,
it's
you
you
spent 2
who you
years in
never.
the
I feel like it's who you know. I have a 2-year degree, and I'm going back to school in the fall. I graduated with my 2-year degree back in 2012. It took me this long to really decide if I really want to go back, because I just been networking and grinding. Like I always look for new avenues to master my skill. At the same time, I feel like I have to go back just to have those credentials, like you said, because it looks good. But at the same time, I've learned more hands-on as far as just like doing things like this and other avenues I took in as far as working for the radio station and different stuff like that, and meeting and interacting with people. And I've learned more there than in a classroom out of a book.
But
So with that being said,
credentials are more than just looking good, though.
Yeah.
Can we?
Because you can.
No, like credentials come with more than just looking good. Like,
But you can have those credentials and still not have the personality to fit that. Like you can have those credentials and walk into an interview
You can't
and
introduce
be
not have no
dumb as a
social
rock.
skills.
Like,
And have
so
no-
it
and not have
does, it's
no
not
social
That's why I said,
necessary.
regardless of what you do, you need to learn. Like you need to learn you, develop you.
Knowledge
School,
itself.
college is not for everyone. High school isn't for everyone.
I
That's why a lot
I
of
don't
people didn't
agree.
win. No, but you can't. It's people right now who's never gonna go to college, and I know that. But you know that you want to go to college. That's you. We can't say that you cannot agree, but those people don't feel like college is necessary.
but with that being said, though, if they don't think it's necessary, or people that's not going to go to college, they have to find the willpower.
Yes,
to get
they
up
have to get
and
themselves
find their
up.
right and find a
Their
way.
way.
Like you
to
said, if
be
you go to
that
the police academy, you
16%
got to get up
that
at
is
5 in the
making
You
morning
can be
every
that
day.
60% without spending $40K a year.
Period.
And it didn't cost that much for me to go to school. Like
I want to get
I
back.
got-
I want to get back to what he said.
$17,000 in bills that's left.
That's legit.
Just because you can
I
get
feel
yourself
like-
up for class, don't mean you about to.
No, but you have to get yourself up every day. If you go to the police academy, you can't sleep till noon
I
on
said-
Monday.
It's
You got to get up. It's discipline.
It's-
Learn
it's
yourself.
discipline, it's
Promote
willpower.
yourself. It's not school. It's not college. It's not a trade. You're not going to be anything in this world after the age of 18 if you don't do it.
To undercut
Basically.
all that, and then go back to
Yeah, you got to
last
do it
topic.
in any circumstance.
And this is kind of an open question.
Go ahead,
Do
Charlie.
y'all think?
Chocolate City.
I like that. Do you think the education system, and I'm talking about from the ground up, is fundamentally broken? Are we not taught what we need to be taught?
No.
Because we should know how to speak to a
Yes,
police officer
it is very
by the time we're an
outdated.
adult.
I am a teacher.
There-
I went to TBS too.
I teach
I
Head
believe
Start.
it's fundamentally
I
outdated.
think
You teach at Start.
that a 4-year degree is not necessary, but the fundamentals, the younger the child, that's the most important piece for society to teach these.
And that's what I'm talking about. From
Between-
kindergarten up,
between-
is it broken?
It's all
As a
broken.
teacher, it's all.
And
everything.
that is the most vulnerable stage.
It needs to be
for
redone.
every
Because
person.
And a lot of time is
How many
wasted. How
people
many
you
times
know
did you
got
learn
passed
algebra
on?
1
Right.
from 3rd grade to 5th
Their
grade?
brain.
How
is
many people
growing.
you know got passed on and you know they don't know shit?
I mean, exactly.
How many people you know dropped out and they're geniuses?
Exactly.
And they geniuses out in the streets.
But what?
Different ways of doing it.
Why when a third grader can't pass a reading test, they make a jail cell?
Exactly.
That goes to the teacher because they are not. No,
that's not accountability on the parents.
No,
yes,
listen. I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished. The teacher is already getting into that mindset that he can't do this, so let's automatically put them in that stereotype. Now, the parent also.
It depends on the teacher.
The parent also, as well, has to take into accountability
to fight
that I did not do the necessary fundamentals to prepare my child at that stage.
It's hard for the parent. It's hard for the parent to think that because in the parent's mind, the teacher is supposed to do that.
Because they don't understand how. Because I will say this: parents and teachers do not take enough time to understand how a specific child learns.
And you are correct. You are correct. But with that being said, communication has been is the biggest topic and the biggest thing between our first topic, our second topic, our third topic, and our fourth topic. Communication. It starts right there. Between the teacher
and the parent.
And the student, because the student
and the child.
My mom is a teacher, and she's a parent. And when she tried to do that, and like to have that conversation with the parents, student teacher parent conferences, the parents thought she was overstepping her boundaries as far as trying to get into their business. So that's where she did that. Like my mom to this day, students come up to me like, "Oh, you're Miss Davis's daughter?" Like, yeah, your mom's mean, your mom's that, but she was just doing her job. So it's like the communication, you can say that as much as necessary, but I think it starts with the parent, because if the parent, they can say that the teacher's supposed to teach them. The parent is the most important piece in the three. Between the child, the parent, and the teacher, they are the most important person.
I agree with you. I agree.
But communication.
A lot of parents are actually still struggling to survive childhood because they're behaving in ways that act out emotionally. They're behaving in ways that react like they're offended that the teacher said this about their child.
Right.
But
they have opened their mouth.
But that's on them.
When that child is born.
But the child needs the education.
And
No matter what.
But how can you get a teacher to cooperate with a parent to give what's best for the child if the parent is still struggling to survive the fundamentals that make them an adult?
You gotta be grown while you gotta just grow.
But they're not.
That goes back to our first statement. This goes back to that first statement. That parent did not get up off their feet and learn at that time when they were growing up.
But the question is, why didn't they?
It's a lot of.
They didn't take accountability.
Or maybe it's because of their parents.
No, you can't blame their parents.
When that child is grown, when you get to a certain age, you say age or level in your life, you have a certain level of accountability over yourself.
Exactly.
Parents are not excuse.
But how do you do better if you don't know better?
This is one thing we gotta realize.
But how do you educate yourself if you don't have the tools? You don't even know where to look.
It's not about tools. It's about how bad
you want it. It's about tools.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not how bad you want it because you don't know how bad you want it if you've never seen nobody want it bad. Period.
But
how do you know better if you don't know better? I will state this quote. I will give this quote that was given to me. The mind.
I don't understand that. No, I'm just something so bad that I know I'm gonna have it.
Right.
The mind will not receive information until it is prepared to. The mind will not receive information until it's prepared to. You can hear something 1,000 times, but if you're not ready to receive information,
you gotta have it open.
And an idle mind is a devil's playground.
And you have to open the mind. And that goes back to our last statement. Just with the parent, if she feels as if, oh wow, you're gonna attack my child, her mind's not open. She doesn't want to take that consideration that maybe we need to work together to go find the 50-50 and work and help this child to get to the next grade.
So the system is, I don't think the system is broken.
Outdated.
It's very outdated.
I think
it's very outdated.
I think
it needs to be filtered.
It needs to be torn down and
no
rebuilt
system.
from the ground up because it was based on false precedents.
There needs to be no system.
That's it.
I don't think it is broken.
There needs to be trust in our society, like in our societal thoughts. And
One that's
how
not
someone
based
that
upon
needs
race.
To, if we have all these teachers at all of these schools, we should trust them that they're going to teach these kids right. But instead, they have this curriculum and they have all this stuff set in place. When there's teachers that we know good and damn well they could teach way better than that
curriculum. That needs to be broken because it's not.
But curriculum is it. That it's not that just. It's not like okay, so this needs to be broken and curriculum needs to be broken. No, it's that curriculum is it. It's the curriculum is why all of these things happen.
Let me touch on that because this is one of my last point to be. I think we ignore because I think we go to school and learn this, and then just look at them as facts. But you gotta look at the truths of the system and realize. And I think our community mindedness leaves us in a situation where, okay, we're going to leave this is at home and this is at school, this is at home and this is at school, because we got the separation of church and state. But y'all got to realize this is survival of the fittest.
But those are the things that
this is survival of the fittest.
But we really don't have that.
So just because you don't go to school, just because you don't go to school, you drop out at whatever age, because you are the fittest and you want it. You're going to go to the library and spend a couple hours in the library. Even if you're trapping, your off hour is trapping. I'm in the library learning this. And then you become that hoe, or you become whatever you want to do because you got the initiative. And we don't want it to be that way, but that's the truth.
That goes back to self.
Exactly.
But you can only help yourself.
You can only help knowledge yourself. And then try to spread it to a tribe and a community and build upon that.
You cannot see how my parents were or the parents before that and be like, well,
and I'm going to just be complacent in what I was handed. You can't do that.
Always excel and go higher than that.
Exactly. Right, but you got the people who say it's about self, but then you got those people who don't know no different, like y'all were saying, and feel like that's all they know and that's all that they can live up to be is what their parents were, what their parents showed them. So you got to understand itself, but then you got those people who are in that situation.
That's just a damn shame.
And that's people who want to be better, but you guarantee the people who come from that background of not knowing what's better, they have somebody or had somebody in their life come to them and show them better, a mentor or somebody show them that self.
Or somebody who's doing the wrong thing.
I want to hear you. I know you're ready. Just go ahead.
Listen. Success is not promoted enough. And that's what we need to understand. It's that even when this kid is small, they're like, if you don't learn this, you're not going to be able to do this, rather than you should learn this so that you can be successful.
Do this.
Exactly.
You're right. It's a negative connotation.
They just keep telling you what you can't do and what you can do rather than the positivity of it all.
All right, well, there you have it with Kitchen Talk. I would like to thank our guests. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
And for those of you watching, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ReflectionsTV. And make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter @ReflectionsTV. And for those of you in Cincinnati, Ohio, Kitchen Talk is coming to Cincinnati next month. So please be ready. And we out.
Yeah!
Mama.